Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League for the PlayStation platform. I am one of two commentators for tonight, Malc. With me, as always, is Craig. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm hoping that this week will go more successfully than last week, having technical issues with my headset. So hopefully I'll avoid all those difficulties and get ready for the round 9 of the Formula 2 Championship on PlayStation.
Absolutely, and I'm fingers crossed as well. Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be all fine as well. So, like I said, we're up for F2 for the French Grand Prix tonight. I can't believe we're 3/4 of the way now. 3/4 of the way of this fantastic season 12 championship in the F2. But before we go to the driver standings, we'll have a quick look at the track info. But brief overview from yourself, Craig. What's your thoughts of the French Grand Prix, and what aspect of each corner that you think, or which corner you would think that will be the most crucial tonight?
Certainly with any track, Malc, we have to look at track limits, and it can be a little bit tricky on some sections of the track, but plenty of opportunity for overtaking. Some long straights and some heavy braking zones. So primarily I'm looking for plenty of overtaking in tonight's race.
Absolutely, and obviously we've got quite a few DRS zones that we always need to look out for as well. But this is the three times we have raced at this circuit: 5.842 kilometres with 3.630 miles, and also with 15 corners, 27 laps. We predicted pit stop strategy is one stop at 23 seconds, but you have also won it as well in F3. So how does it feel, or what does the F2 drivers need to feel to try and achieve getting the win or get into the top 3 in the French Grand Prix tonight?
Just one word, Malc: consistency. Setting consistent laps within a very close delta, lap after lap after lap, which is not easy, as we know that track conditions can change, weather conditions can change as well, and we have a very hotting up championship, and we have saw a swing after last week in the overall championship leader, Prix, replacing JCol at the top of the championship table, is now tied for second with Speed Queen. So Prix doing everything he needs to do with 2 wins and a second place finish in the last 3 races. He's certainly the driver in form, and it has to be the driver to beat ahead of tonight's race.
I absolutely agree, and he could be on for a fourth podium, or maybe a third win on out of 4 races. To be fair, but it just depends on how he can try and push that boundaries. But he has, I do agree, he has improved massively. But obviously, don't forget John Lion. He's just had a rotten a few races, shall we say, but let's hope he can try and bounce back as well. So we've got Mr. Steen, who had his second podium of the season, and Ryan for his first podium as well. So that's still impressive stuff. So watch out for those guys tonight, see if they can try and improve. And then we've got the constructors. We'll just have a brief overview of the constructors. But the Alpha Tauri are step up to gear, because obviously they're 10 points ahead with 105. 10-point gap, shall we say, from the Red Bull team, and then obviously there's a little bit of a gap between Red Bull and McLaren as well. So everything's all heated up, to be fair, in the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform, Craig.
Yeah, both championships shaping up nicely. All drivers now eager to get to the circuit. We just wait to enter into the commentary boxes and the drivers entering the garages will soon hear those engines revving up as they prepare to attack the circuit Paul Ricard. But just going back again to the championship there, Malc, it certainly looks as if it's going to go to the wire, with a very slim lead for Rimpa ahead of Jumper Lion and Speed Queen. But just out of reach at the moment is Humblestone on 51 points as well. So it looks as if it could possibly be a top 4 championship battle, but I'm sure Rimpa and Jumper Lion will be looking to continue that form, for Jumper Lion to regain that form. But Speed Queen needs to start securing some more podiums, and even that elusive race 1 if she's got any chance of securing the F2 Drivers' Championship this season.
I do agree with Speed Queen. She really needs to get those points in. But don't get me wrong, she's a fighter. She can try and push as much as possible. But it's just with all the other drivers who have been consistent, with Rimpa as well. I do feel like Rimpa, who's obviously on for a chance for a 4th podium in a row, shall we say. But I can't see anyone at the minute try and stop him. Do you agree?
He's certainly a hard driver to beat, but there are drivers with pace in this league. Taking L's managed to pip Mr. Steen last week to secure pole position, and it's shown that he has got the pace. Sorry, Speed Queen, it was the driver that he pipped last week for pole position, so he was just unlucky to be caught up in a little bit of an incident at the start of the race. But he's certainly a driver with pace and could challenge Rimpa and Jumper Line in qualifying. Could
be, but with F1 you just do not know what to expect at all, because you probably think the ones that you would expect them to do well, not in the top 3, top 4, but they could have a bad qualifying. They could have this could be one of their worst tracks. We never know, but I just want. And
it's never always down. It's never always down to pace as well, Malc. It comes down to strategy as well. If we look last night at how Harry secured both the race 1 and the Drivers' Championship in last night's F1 race, starting from near enough the back of the grid. I believe he started round about 12th and started on the medium tyres and just came through the grid, mastered the pit strategy and secured that race win. So it's not always about having 1 lap pace around this track. With the tow, the DRS, certainly starting outside the top 10 can also be advantageous as well.
True. It's just pretty much trying to see if you can. It's, as you said, it's more about the race distance, and see if you can keep that race distance, shall we say, rather than the 1 lap momentum, shall we say. But hopefully, from everyone's perspective, I mean, before I carry on, congratulations to Harry for winning the Drivers' Championship last night. And you rightly so. He went from mediums to hards with the 1 stop, and he did it absolutely brilliant, to be fair. And he was, without doubt, one driver that was absolutely sensational all season long, Craig.
Yeah, and Beck will be looking to repeat that feat for Renault tonight. The first driver who we are expecting to set the fastest lap, just completing sector 2, coming round that flat out turn 10, that fantastic right-hander into the double right of 11, trying to get the nose of the Renault pointed in the right direction. Oh, runs a bit wide, but manages to keep it within track limits. Locks up the front life slightly. That will cost him a little bit of time, but we should see a representative lap from Beck coming through the final few corners. He's got a little bit of traffic in Rimpa in front. Hopefully that does not distract him, but he should pick up the tow and the DRS down that main street. So Rimpa may have done his rival a little bit of a favour here, and it is a 1:28.4 from Beck.
That's a good time from Beck, but as I saw from last night's qualifying, a 27.2, if I remembered it right, a 27.2 on the softs. Is that correct, I think?
Yeah, that was set by Beastas of Alpha Tauri, but Hulkenberger goes 3/10 slower in the McLaren. So Hulkenberger a little bit off the pace at the moment, as we have Luke Bailey on the charge. He'll be looking to get a great result. He's been practicing like mad the last few weeks, so desperate for a great result tonight. And we will be waiting for Rimper, who's also on a hot lap, just coming through the chicane at turn 8 and 9. Can Rimper set an opening gambit challenge to his title rivals John Polainen and Speed Queen?
Absolutely. Just see how Luke Bailey can try and go into the start finish line, and he did a 28.493, a 1 minute 28.493. Just having a look at Mr. Steen. He's just in the second sector now, just coming up to coming up to the end of the second sector into the third. See what time he can try and get in the second sector time. And he did a 49.5, but have you done much practice in the French Grand Prix? Forgot to ask earlier, Craig.
I've done zero practice at all. Rimper goes 2/10 quicker than Beck, takes provisional pole. He was disrupted a little bit by taking Els coming through sector 3, taking Els trying to get out the way as quick as possible, but Rimper still managed to secure provisional pole position. But there's a little bit of traffic on the circuit at the moment, Malc, down at turns 3 and 4. Rimper just getting out the way.
Yeah, so they're just trying to get some space to try and do their laps in. Mr. Steen did a 28.8 on the soft, so he'll need to try and probably push on as massive as possible. But so I'm just watching Nigel Shades now coming up to third sector. But who are you watching so far, Craig?
I was just riding on board with Ryan. Looked to get a little bit of a toe off Stefan Ranz, but he has now jumped Stefan Ranz, so he's looking for track position, Malc.
He is. He's trying to get as much of the track position as possible, but with Ryan getting his first podium last week in the British Grand Prix, it's just been an absolute stellar of a race, and I could see Ryan can do well if he can try and get his second podium on the bounce, and he's just obviously validate his lap at the minute, so he's going to try and do his lap now. But from looking at those times at the minute, and saw the times from last night from the F1 on the PlayStation platform, what time would you expect to see as the pole time tonight?
I think we may just encroach into the high 127s. Just riding on board with Speed Queen at the moment. She breaks for turns 8 and 9, goes purple, sector 1. So Speed Queen currently on a charge, will pick up her time from sector 2, goes purple again. So Speed Queen certainly on the charge. She wants that pole position.
She does. She really, really does want to try and get a good start in the qualifying, but as you said earlier on, Craig, it's more about the race distance and the race pace, and also the time management, which we forgot to mention. The time management has always been the most crucial point in the F1 scenario, and from this scenario of the softs, obviously you would expect the drivers to go onto the soft hards, or what we saw from Harry last night, medium hards from the back of, nearly at the back of the grid. And wow, a Speed Queen.
Yes, yeah, first driver into 27s at Malc. Very impressive.
That's been absolute stellar of a lap from Speed Queen with 127.9. And seeing how Ryan can try and do it into the third sector now. He's just coming up to the start, finishing nice straight now, and he might get a 28.2. 1 minute 28.2 from Ryan. So he's done a brilliant job, to be fair. And he's just, yeah.
And just to go back to pole position, it doesn't hurt you so much here either. There's a reasonably short run down to turn 1. It's not until you get to turn 7 and 8, that long straight, where you're a sitting duck from the driver behind getting the toe. So if Speed Queen does secure pole, or whichever driver secures pole, they will be looking to open up a little bit of a gap, not wanting to give too much away to the cars behind, giving them a toe or a slipstream into that heavy braking zone of turn 8.
Absolutely, and I need to try and, like I said, it's the slipstream. It just reminds me of, what was it, Spain? Do you remember Spain, where you got like all that big toe and try and get that start, and also Mexico? How can we forget about Mexico? That's where you got to be a really good start. Go and have a really good start. Hotari has got into second place with 128.073, so that's a good time from him as well. So at the moment, Jump Lion, Taken Owls and Aqualand are the only ones who have had no times at all during this qualifying session. So Craig, who are you watching so far?
I'm just watching what Ferrari do here. I thought that maybe Stefan Ranz would have stayed out for another lap and given his teammate a little bit of a slipstream run down to turn 1, but he has been called into the pits, and I'm just right on board with taking L's as he begins his qualifying lap. Brings the car over to the right hand side, breaks down into 5th, into turn 1, over to turn 2 on the right, stays in 5th, trying to reduce the slip from the rear tyres. He puts power down into turn 3, quick switch over to turn 4, stays in 4th gear, reduces the wheel spin from the rear tyres. Turn 5, it can be quite tricky. Around turn 6, now it's just flat out getting the car straightened as quick as you can onto the DRS on that run down towards turn 8, and there's a little bit of a wait while you just prepare for that braking zone into the chicane of 8 and 9 there, Malc, but very nice from T. He was a little bit wide off the apex at 9, managed to get back onto the straight, onto the power, and he'll be hoping that Ferrari Power can get him near provisional pole. The pole position winner last week, of course, so can he go 2 for 2?
Now you're putting me under a lot of pressure now, Craig, aren't you? To be fair, to see if Taking Owls can try and do it. I hope he does. I hope he can try and do it, because that will bring him massive...
He's just invalidated it there, Malc. He's just invalidated. Ran a little bit wide at turn 14, and he's had to bail out of it. So he's used a set of softs there with 6 minutes remaining. He has not set a lap time, but it's still not all over, as we have seen how Harry managed to secure the race win from starting outside the top 10 last night.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, Craig, isn't that a commentator's curse that we mentioned about we're taking ours to see if he can try and get the pole position or get a good time? And to be fair,
yeah, he was just trying to take a little bit too much pace through turn 14 there, Malc. Just lost the front of the car and just crossed that track boundary, which resulted in his lap time being invalidated.
Absolutely. Jumper Lion, who's just crossed over the line with a 129.5. I'm just watching Aqualand now come up to finish off his lap. Let's see what he can try and do now. He might get a 28.8. So he's moved himself up to 10th place. So look at those times. At the minute, Speed Queen is the only one hitting the 27s, which I would expect the F2 drivers to hit the 20, like the high 27s tonight, to be fair.
Well, with 5 minutes left in this session, Malc, certainly that is possible. Just watching Hotari as he's just coming through the final few corners on his outlap, just behind Speed Queen. And we do know both these drivers have had a few run-ins this season, as recent as the USA Grand Prix. So things may be interesting going into turn 1 if both of these drivers are sharing the front row of the grid.
Be interesting, to be fair, but obviously 1,000ths of a difference, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes to move one position to another. But let's see how Hotari can try and do. If you are joining the stream, if you are new to the stream, welcome to you all. I hope everyone's all okay and well and enjoying the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel on the PlayStation platform. We are just watching the last 4 minutes of the qualifying. Keiran Hotari, who's just watching live exclusive right now, it's just coming up to the end of the second sector. But to be fair though, I forgot to mention that turn 1, Craig, I always feel the back end always loose, but you always invalidate your lap automatically if you don't master that corner right.
Yeah, certainly finding the right balance around this circuit is vital, particularly when you're coming through turn 10 and 11 as well. The rear of the car likes to kick out a little bit, so it's just about finding the right balance, not only for qualifying but the race as well. Just right on board with Hatari there, goes quicker in sector 2, so can we see Hatari moving up and taking provisional pole from Speed Queen?
Just wait and see now. Hatari might hit the 27s. He does. 127.8, Craig. 127.889.
And we will wait to see what Speed Queen's response to that is. His Rimper currently on his outlap at the moment. Got a little bit of traffic with Mercedes ahead of him, but that'll be Hatari just coming round to return to the pit. So Rimper shouldn't have too much traffic and have plenty of clean air as he goes to challenge Speed Queen and Hatari for that pivotal pole position.
Hopefully, but from what they're watching now and trying to get, obviously the track is getting even warmer now, so the tyre should be trying to be on for a more quicker lap. You would expect it to be, but with 2 minutes 19 left of the qualifying itself, if you like what you see so far, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League, the YouTube channel. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. That'll be a massive help for all of us at Invictus Racing League. So at the moment, Luke Bailey is doing his lap, but what's your thoughts of Luke Bailey's performance that you have seen in the comms box, Craig?
Certainly seen him becoming more consistent after each race. He was a little bit affected by his teammate going into turn 1, his teammate taking the right hand side of the circuit. That compromised Luke Bailey into turn 1. He had to move across the track a little bit later than he liked, but goes purple, sector 1. Mr. Steen will be hoping to hang on to the back of Luke Bailey, getting a little bit of a tow as he prepares for his qualifying lap as well. Oh, big lock up from the front left tyre of Luke Bailey at turn 8. That would have cost him a little bit of time. Looking to get his sector time across to 2. He's 1/10 up there, Malc, so still a little bit behind Rimp, as Rimp he's actually invalidated, so Rimper has invalidated his final qualifying run. Can Luke Bailey find a little bit of time through sector 2 and take third, starting on the clean side of the track?
We'll have to wait and see, but at the moment it's coming to the last few corners now, and can Luke Bailey try and get the perfect qualifying lap? Always had a bit of a lock up on the last corner. He might lose a few tenths, but does that going to cost him on the pole position time?
Yeah, did not really improve. It was 1,000th of a lap slower than his current time, so no improvement from Luke Bailey.
No improvement from Luke Bailey, but I'm just trying to see if Rimper is going to go. I'm just trying to see if he can try and have enough time to get round. Oh, he's going to go back. No, he's going to go for it. He's actually going to go for that last lap, but the clouds are coming in, Craig. The clouds are coming in, and I've been told, unless I'm mistaken, I have been told at the weather crew there's going to be a wet start.
And it's probably why we're seeing a lot of drivers setting lap times, not wanting to play it too safe outside the top 10. So fair play, we're having a good old-fashioned shootout as Rimper comes through turn 4, gets it car out of shape a little bit as he was trying to get it turned back towards turn 5, as we should get his first sector time here. Yeah, we haven't had an update there, but we will stay on board with Rimper. Speed Queen currently on a qualifying lap as well, approaching turn 10, so can she improve on second as well? Hatari completes the session, holding on to provisional pole. Speed Queen 1/10 down as she comes through turn 11. Has she improved? Oh, runs a bit wide and invalidates her final run there as she locks up the front left tyre. So Speed Queen will not improve on second, but can Rimp take second from Speed Queen as he's just coming through the final few corners. Lock up front left tyre at turn 13. runs a little bit wide. Has that cost him time here, Malc, as it comes through the challenging turn 14 and the hairpin 15, slight lock up, that runs deep. Oh, he's managed to just keep it on track, but that will compromise that run down to the line. Can he improve on a 28.0? He doesn't. A 28.6.
So Rimpa, who cannot improve his time, but fair play to Andriy, who will get pole position with a 1:27.889 by a tenth against Speed Queen, who's in second place as well. So that was absolutely epic, to be fair, Craig. I thought that was a good qualifying from some of the drivers tonight.
One driver that really impressed me was Beck 9000 up there challenging at the front, so that was a great qualifying session for Beck.
Absolutely, and yeah, he's been a stellar of a job to try and get into the top 5, shall we say, but fair play to him as well. Here are your short qualifying classification for the French Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. So you got Andriy, who's in first, Speed Queen second, Rimpa is in third, Beck is in fourth, Mr. Steen fifth, Luke Bailey sixth, Ryan is in seventh, Nightshades eighth, Hulk in ninth, Stefan is in 10th, Aquilan is in 11th, Taking Owls is in 12th, Jumper Lion 13th, and Mr. Stim, who's in 14th place. But you're nearly 2 seconds off the pole position time, Craig, from Mr. Stim.
Yeah, Mr. Stim not enjoying qualifying there at all. But Jumper Lion down outside the top 10 as well. He'll be hoping to continue his strategy masterclass of starting at the back of the grid and coming through and securing either a podium or the race win. But we do have two drivers that have experienced a few contacts this season on the front row of the grid, Andriy and Speed Queen, so it'll be interesting to see how aggressive or how cautious each driver will be going into turn 1. But they do have the championship championship leader Rimpa slightly behind as well, starting on the clean side of the track. So will Rimpa get a better better start off the line compared to Speed Queen and maybe make a move into turn 1? Who knows, Malc? It's all ahead of us over this 27 lap race.
I definitely agree, Craig, because you have to try and get a good start, obviously, and try and be respectful on the track and try and keep avoiding the penalties as much as possible. But with the three drivers who are battling out for the Drivers' Championship, and don't get me wrong, you had Humblestone, obviously, who's I believe not in tonight, I believe. So he would be lost, and he was a previous winner in the French Grand Prix as well. So I think with Speed Queen and obviously forgot to mention Jumper Lion, who could be on for what he had been done before in the past, where he had been from nearly the back of the grid to get himself into the podium. So you can't write any of these drivers off, especially with the wet conditions to start off with as well.
Yeah, one driver that we do know is very good in the wet is Speed Queen. So there is one person who feels that Speed Queen is a certainty for the win, and that is F1 driver Foxy Red. So Foxy Red believes that Speed Queen will secure the race win, possibly feeling that the conditions are perfect for her. I
do. I do wish like she can get the win just to get something out of it. Do you know what I mean? Just to close the gap and try and help as well. But don't get me wrong, Speed Queen has been absolutely brilliant on her days on the racing as well. Yes, there was a few races that we have mentioned about with Nightshades as well, where the Red Bull team, they've been struggling on some tracks, but they've been bouncing back at, I believe, the USA and also the British Grand Prix. I do apologise for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks as if all drivers have chosen their strategy. It should be quite simple and straightforward to start with, but just going back to Speed Queen, what a perfect opportunity to open a little bit of daylight between herself and Jumper Lining, who starts from 13th, both tied on championship points in the Drivers' Championship, Malc. So Rimpa again will also be hoping to get a little bit of daylight between himself, Speed Queen, and Jumper Lining's closest competitors. But Rimpa looked as if he'd struggled a little bit with traction there, just getting off the line, and intermediate tyres seem to be the optimum choice at the race start.
Absolutely. So it just depends on how these guys are really good at the wet. So I know, as we mentioned about earlier, Speed Queen, who's she's been an absolute one to watch in the wet conditions. But is there any other drivers that you recommend that could do well in the start of the race with the wets?
Well, the driver who has the best opportunity to get the best start has to be the pole sitter, Hutari. He's got no other drivers ahead of him, no chances of Spray coming out of the cars ahead either, so he will have a clear vision of the apex of turn 1. It all comes down to who gets the best run off the line. We do know that Beck can be quite quick off the line as well, but conditions are tricky. It's just about getting the temperature into those intermediate tyres, not opening too much of a gap between 1st and 14th, because the drivers will be losing tyre temperature with each passing second, and it looks as if Beck's had a little bit of an issue there, going off track, losing a little bit of traction. So Beck may be struggling with the conditions a little bit here so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's also disqualified in the qualifiers, so his tyre wear is just going to be not going to be great at the start, obviously. So
yeah, tyre temperatures will be dropping. His tyres will be almost blue by the time Hutari comes out of the final corner and up to the starting grid.
Absolutely.
So certainly not the start that Beck would want tonight.
Absolutely not, and he can't afford to, especially when he had a great qualifying as well. You cannot afford to lose the tyre wear as well. So the drivers are slowly coming into the starting grids. If you are watching the stream, good evening to you all. Who do you think will be your top 3 for tonight? Do you think Hutari will hold on for first? Do you think Speed Queen will get her first win of the season, or do you think Rimpa will try and get on for another podium for the 4th time of asking as well? So the drivers are slowly coming in now. Mr. Stevens just coming up to the last bit of the grid on 14th place. I wish everyone at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League, all the very best to bring some action-packed at the French Grand Prix. So here we go. We're waiting for 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we are go! Who's had the great start?
Yeah, that looked like a great start there from Hutari.
Oh!
It looks like there's an Alfa Romeo going wide, losing a little bit of traction in the rear tyres and damaging the front wing, but that's a great start from Hutari, opening up the gap to Rimpa, so Rimpa gets the jump on Speed Queen going into turn 1.
She got the jump on to turn 1, I do apologise, but I was watching on some of the drivers who were coming through at turn 1 as well, some of the McLaren as well, and it was just absolutely mad start, shall we say, for the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. So we're still watching Mr. Stim move himself up a few places, actually, to be fair, but he's doing an absolute stellar after a great start from Mr. Stim.
Yeah, and Hutari just got away like a bullet, managed to open up a couple of tenths gap to Rimp behind, which is absolutely crucial on that first run down towards turn 8. So Hutari managed that formation lap expertly, as Speed Queen now coming under a little bit of pressure from Beck on towards turn 10.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Steen did get ahead of Beck.
Apologies, Mr. Steen. That was apologies. I've actually quoted that as Speed Queen. Sorry, that was Mr. Steen coming under a little bit of pressure. So Beck struggling with a little bit of tyre temperature at the start of the race, soon to be coming under pressure from Luke Bailey.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll let you off just this once, Craig. I'll let you off just this once, to be fair. Still a tenth between Huntari and Rimpa as well. Just watching Beck and Mr. Steen for 4th and 5th, still battling out. And Mr. Steen trying to hold on. Ryan, who's just going to the pits now. Ryan is going to the pits. Huntari has got the fastest up the race at the moment, 150.821 so far. So, Craig, who are you watching so far?
I'm just right on board with Jumper Lining, who moves up to 8th with Ryan pitting there. So great start to the race from Jumper Lining. He's only 1.2 seconds behind Stefan Rands. So Jumper Lining starting this race very well.
Absolutely, and as I said earlier on, and I've said this many times, watch out for Jumper Lion at the back of the grid. He's has had a few great races, to be fair, but can he try and emulate in this race? That's the big question, to be fair. But one of the drivers has just gone wide. That might be Aquilan, sorry. But here we go. Beck trying to close the gap onto Mr. Steen. Still 3/10 with this battle, but you just don't know where the next overtake is going to happen.
Yeah, Aquinline was putting a little bit of pressure on Mr. Stim. Oh, loses the rear of the car a little bit there, but Nightshades hasn't had the best start to this race. He's dropped down to 12th from 8th, but gets it moved on in Mr. Stim at turn 10. So Nightshades trying to get back into this race after falling to the back of the grid at the start.
Yeah, so Nightshades slowly getting past at the minute, but Stefan is trying to close the gap onto Luke Bailey for 6th place. Beck also closing the gap onto Mr. Steen again for 4th and 5th. But to be fair though, I mean, Hotari still doing a stellar of a drop and making the gap against Rimpa, who was a 10th behind not long ago. Now it's 1 second of a gap.
And Stefan Rands closing the gap to Luke Bailey. He's got it down to 0.5 of a second, so we've got a 4-car train here behind Mr. Steen. But Beck needs to get this moved on as soon as he can, because it's likely that he'll come under pressure from Luke Bailey and Stefan Rands behind. So Beck could be lining up Mr. Steen on the exit of turn 7.
Hopefully they'll need to try and do as quick as possible. Just as we was watching that, Nightshades has gone past Mr. Stim now for 10th place. So that's a good move there from Nightshades, and needs the pressure on these guys if they want the Red Bull team to do well in the Constructors in this season as well. So yeah, it's been an absolute a mad start in the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League, which is live exclusive, guys, on the YouTube channel. Check out all the other programs of obviously the F1 that was done on Monday nights, which we just missed, but you'll see it catching up next week. But also you got F3, F4, the PlayStation platform tomorrow night, so check it out, and also the PC League on F1 and F2, and the Performance League on for the PlayStation platform on the Thursday nights as well. But also check out the Twitch channel on the Invictus Racing Leagues. Please check it out as well. And looks like Stefan and Luke Bailey having a 2 wide scenario, 2 wide, and that is just absolutely stellar of a battle, to be fair, between Stefan and Luke. So Stefan going himself ahead into 6th place. Sorry for any technical difficulties if Craig has left. Hopefully he'll be back into the commentators box. So hopefully he'll return back in a moment too. But at the moment, Beck is getting close to Mr. Steen for 4th place. So on lap 4:27, here we go. Can Beck do it? Can he try and get on to Mr. Steen? He needs to try and make the move. I mean, Beck had a bit of a slow back end going, shall we say. He needs to try and push, and looks like he's doing really well, to be fair. Oh no, he's lost him! No! Oh my god, just as I was speaking, there's been yellow flag set to 2 days from Beck. Beck, who's trying to pressure onto Mr. Steen. Now, he's trying at the back of the back of the grid. So now, really unlucky for Beck, who did everything he can to try and close the gap onto Mr. Steen. But it might have been from like the dirty air causing the back end, causing the car to unsteady from that just before the DRS straight as well. Just trying to have a look at some of the drivers. To be fair, who's getting close? We've got Jump Line and Hulk, who could have the two teammates in McLaren are getting close now. So they're trying to push on massively. So like I said, guys, if you are watching the stream, good evening to you all. Like I said, check out all the social media sites of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe and follow. But the most important thing of all, guys, is check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest news and all the latest info, that anything that's related to the Invictus Racing League. Oh my god, Hulk! Hulk is really pushing against Jump Lion for 7th place. Really is trying to put the pressure on his teammate, but obviously I've seen a few debates on teammates, and I always say this every time, but for me, if you're the fastest driver, I would say you'd let them through. But obviously, if you want to play fair and produce the goods, try and not waste, try not to lose all these points. That's all I'm saying. Try not to lose all these points. And now Hulk is now trying to close the gap onto Jump Line again, and now no, Hulk is trying. Jump Line is really struggling, and the two oh, what a move! What a move there from Hulk! What a move there from Hulk! So we got Nightshades moving up to 8th place at the moment. Just trying to have a look to see if there's anyone close enough. So at the moment, Stefan could have a chance to close the gap onto Mr. Steen for 4th place. Hopefully they'll try and hopefully they'll try and close the gap as well. But still tipping it down at the French Paul Ricard track. So just watching it from Stefan's point of view, look, you can tell from their driver's perspective, it's absolutely torrentious rain on the intermediates, to be fair. But to be fair, some people prefer to be driving in the rain and rather than the dry scenarios, to be fair, just to get a different aspect of the race itself. But Beck has got a 142.820 as the fastest lap of the race as well. We're on lap, I can't believe we're on lap 6. We're on lap 6 of 27. Ryan's got the fastest lap of the race now with 142.733. Yellow flags, that is the Renault. That is, I believe, Beck. It is also Beck. So Beck, who lost out on turn 1. Back on to the track now for try and close the gap, and we'll have to have a look in a moment or two if it is going to get close. But the most important thing of all is the top 2 drivers are getting close now, 3/10 of a gap. So just trying to see if Rimpa can try and close the gap onto Huntari now. But to be fair to Huntari, he's doing an absolute stellar of a job. Absolute stellar of a job, to be fair. But obviously the 2 drivers who've had the pit stops already, which is Ryan and Taking Owls. So those 2 drivers are will have to go in the pits again, because obviously the tyre wear is not going to last. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I thought the gap was going to get close. But now we've got a 3-car battle for 4th place between Mr. Steen, Stefan and Luke Bailey. So so Stefan is also in a Williams sandwich. So let's see if Stefan can try and get past Mr. Steen. So just trying to see if Stefan can try and to push on. Ryan has got the fastest lap of the race again with a 142.529. But as you can see, the drivers are trying to keep hold of their car. Mr. Steve's going to be careful because he went way wide. Way wide. He needs to be very careful because now Stefan could have a chance. 2/10 of the gap now. 2/10 of the gap. Can Stefan try and do? So just try and see if Stefan can try and close the gap. But if, like I said, guys, it's been an absolute, like, so much battles galore. You just never know which one to pick out. But obviously with the rain, it's not helping with all these drivers. And you're just hoping that for the best that these guys... Oh my god, contact! There's been contact between Mr. Steen and Stefan. So, oh, Stefan's making the move on the inside! Is he trying to do it, but can Mr. Steen hold on? Two wide scenario. They've got to be careful. They've got to be absolutely careful. They're still battling. The Ferrari and the Williams are still battling out. Great driving from these two. Great driving from these two. And now the McLaren of Hulk are now joining the party. So still, could be a 4 or 5 car battle the way it goes if Nightshade and Hulk can try and catch up with these three. But if you are watching the stream, good evening to you all. Luke Bailey's gone ahead and Mr. Steve has gone way wide. He's struggling with those tyres and also the wet conditions. Aquilon has got the 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's the first driver to hit the penalties tonight. So he's going to be absolutely careful at the end of the session. Looks like Hulk could have a chance of trying to close the gap onto Mr. Steen. These drivers are going to be absolutely careful. Beck has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And now I'm going to have to go back to Rimpa. Because he is making a move on Atari. There's also the 2 battles. Nearly was a 10th. So Rimpa is going to have it. Watch it from his point of view. Hatari is trying everything he can with that Mercedes to try and hold on for first. But Rimpa also slowly trying to close the gap from second place. But we're on lap 827 of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. We've got Hatari, who's in first place. We've got Rimpa, who's in second. Speed Queen in third. Stefan is in fourth. Luke Bailey is in fifth. Mr. Steen is in sixth. Hulk is in seventh. Nightshades is in eighth. Jambalaya is in ninth. Mr. Stim is in 10th. Aquilon is in 11th. Ryan is in 12th. Beck is in 13th. And taking out 14th. And Nightshades is pitted. The rain is still kicking in. The rain is still massively kicking in. So just trying to see what tyre wear he would go for, because obviously you would expect them to hit the intermediates again with the conditions that there is, but you just never know what some drivers are going to try and do with the conditions as well. So yeah, so Rimpo's trying to close the gap. Got Hulk, who's trying to close the gap onto Mr. Steen. Stefan's trying to get away from Luke Bailey for 4th and 5th place. But those are the only 3 battles that we've seen. The top 2, 4th and 5th, and 6th and 7th place, which is the only closest battles we've got. So, yo, Dario, how you doing? Same glitch again where the race finishes for me when it still is going. Oh, okay. Like I say, we do apologise, guys. It's a shame. Like I said, I hope everything will get sorted next week, all being well. But yeah, it's unfortunate, shall we say, from Craig's like out of control, shall we say. To be fair, so hopefully he'll be back next week in the comms box, and touch wood, hope everything's okay as well. So Hulk is trying to close the gap onto Mr. Steen, still for 6th place. We're not even halfway yet. That is how mad it is. We're not even halfway yet of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. Hulk trying to with a 144 flat, his time that he has done on his last lap. Still 3/10 now. Go watch it from his point of view. Mr. Steen is absolutely struggling with those tyre wear. The rain is... I tell you what, I hope this does not happen in the F3 race that I race on tomorrow night, which you can check out as well on the Invictus Racing League, the YouTube channel, with two commentators as well, and also check out the F4 League as well as the PC League on F1 and F2 tomorrow night, guys, on the YouTube channel. So you go, Hulk is going to have a chance to try and make the move, and he's trying to do a late breaking move. No! Obviously, Mr. Steen trying to keep it cool and calm and collective. So Ryan, who's getting close to Aquilan, who's in 10th place. Rimper still battling out with Hotari for first place. So it's still been an absolute belter of a bit of a gap, but those two drivers ain't going to give up. It looks like Ryan has now finally gone past Aquilan, who's in 10th place at the moment, and we've got quite a few drivers who are just near near the back. But yeah, it's just been absolute mad scenes at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League, to be fair. But Hulk ain't giving up this position to try and challenge Mr. Steen for 6th place. But let's have a look at the fastest of the race has gone to Ryan still, and I'm just trying to look at the penalties. Obviously, Aquilan and Beck are the only ones who've had the penalties. The top 9 have not pitted yet. Same with 11th and 12th positions. The big position changes, that's what we always like to see. So the biggest movers are Stefan, John Blind and Mr. Steen for 6 and 5 places respectively. Nightchase is now got the fastest up on the race now with 142.8. Nightchase also got the 3-second time penalty. And as you can see, guys, the wet has stopped. The rain has now stopped, as far as I could see, in the second sector. So we might have the, well, not now, but I reckon probably about 16, 17, we would see the dry tyres to kick in. And if they do, I will not be surprised if they gamble to go on the mediums, which Harry did last night in the well, not in the rain to mediums, but Harry got as much of that tyre wear as possible. And to be fair though, he did an absolute stellar of a job last night in the F1 League in the PlayStation platform as well. So Hulk still trying to close the gap, but nothing he could try and do. It looks like Mr. Steen has now finally pitted. Will he gamble to go on the dry tyres, even though the wets? It's still wet on track on majority of them anyway, but so hopefully try it. I will not be surprised if we go still back onto the intermediates. I will not be surprised, to be fair, because the track is still obviously slippy. So Mr. Steen's gone for the hards, actually. Mr. Steen is the first driver to gamble on the hards. So he'll be trying to push on. Nightchase has got the fastest up the race. Now, this is quite interesting now. I'm going to have a look at Mr. Steen's tyres to see the time difference. Obviously, it's going to be worse to start with, but it's worth a gamble. It is definitely worth a gamble, but I do say it's a little bit too early. Well, massively too early. So Beck has now moved himself up to 10th, passing Aquilan from 11th. So all the drivers are all a little bit spread out, except for the top 2, which they have been like properly go for it as well. And as you can see from taking L's, trying to make the move on to Mr. Steen. Mr. Steen is still trying to hold on. Look at this, he's trying to go side by side, and trying to hold on Mr. Steen, trying to defend, well, trying to not risk it for a biscuit. As you can see, he will, look at the tyre wear. I think it's far too early for the hard tyres to kick in, and the drivers will be watching this and thinking that's what's going to happen. And like, if they pitted now, that's what the tyre wear is going to be like. If they're going to gamble for the hards or the mediums near the end. But I think obviously the harder the tyre, obviously the colder it will be. But from that perspective, I do think Mr. Steen has got in and made the wrong decision to try. It was worth a gamble, but I think it was massively. As you can see, the water's still splashing. Obviously, some part of the track are still wet, as you can see, but still absolute insane stuff. But Rimpa could try and close the gap, but the only time that he was getting close to overtake was earlier on in like the last few laps. But since then, the gap has gone back to 1 second. So Andriy, who's been really impressive since the start of the race and keeping on hold against Rimpa, done an absolute stellar of a job, to be fair. Absolute stellar of a job. Odds with a shining track. Hop. Yeah, so I do think it was a massive mistake from Mr. Steen's point of view, but yeah, massive mistake. But at the minute on lap 14, just about over the halfway marker, Andriy is in the lead in first, Rimpa is in second, 7/10 of the gap now. Speed Queen's she's in third, Stefan is in fourth, Luke Bailey is in fifth, Hulk is in sixth, Jump Lion is in seventh, Mr. Stim is in eighth, Ryan is in ninth, Beck is in 10th, Aquilan is in 11th, Night Shades is in 12th, Taking Out is 13th, and Mr. Steen in 14th place. Let's have a quick look at the battle between Stefan and Luke, because that could be quite interesting, as well as Mr. Stim and Ryan for 8th and 9th respectively. But if you are watching the stream, guys, who's been your best driver so far in this race at the halfway marker? It looks like Nightshade's going to back up to 11th. So obviously Rimpa and Andriy getting close. Mr. Stim and Ryan still getting close. Yellow flag set to 3. That is Mr. Stim. Mr. Steen. I keep saying the wrong one. Mr. Steen. I do apologise, guys. Mr. Steen, who's lost it at the last corner. It could be lapped by Andriy and Rimpa. And the dry tyres, sorry, you can see a bit of the dry clouds, shall we say, but it's still dark, but you can still see a few bits of light, shall we say. But Rimpa is going to the pits now. Rimpa is going to the pits. So will Stefan and Luke Bailey. Oh my god, I thought Luke Bailey was going to try and make the move on the inside. Rimpa's gone for the mediums. Hulk is going to the pits now. So what tyre wear he will go for? That is the big question. So if you enjoy the stream, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Will be a massive help. Please give that like. We also got not only we're live and exclusive for you guys tonight on the F2 on the PlayStation platform. We also got the Xbox League, which is on the F1 League, shall we say, on the Twitch channel. We have got yellow flags on Sector 1, and I believe that is a Renault. Yeah, it is a Renault. Beck and Hulk has dropped himself down to 11th, and now Luke Bailey is going to try and. To be fair, though, the track, even though there's bits of wet as well, I do feel like the tyres is coming up soon. I think probably about. I did say lap 16 to 17. That is a pure guess. To be fair, that is an absolute pure guess that we would see the dry tyres to be coming in properly, and that is what we see is what we're going to get. And we might have a 3-car battle between Rimpa, Ryan, and Mr. Stim for 6, 7, and 8. But like I said, guys, check out the Twitch channel on Invictus Racing Leagues for the Xbox Series. They do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursday nights is the Performance League, and also the PC League, which is on the YouTube channel. They're always on every Wednesday nights for the F1 and F2. And then we got obviously the PlayStation platform for F2 right now, F3 and F4 tomorrow night at 8 PM, and also the Performance League on Thursday nights. But also check out the F1 League next week on Monday nights as well. They do a brilliant job as always. Mr. Steen has retired from the session. He has retired from the session. So drivers are now should be on for the tyre wear. And quite interestingly enough, Jumper Lion and Speed Queen, they have both gone for the soft tyres, whilst majority of the drivers have gone on the mediums. So yellow flag still on third sector. So yeah, just mad scenes to be fair at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. But yeah, it's just been an absolute stellar of a job. Yellow flag set to 1. That might be. So Ryan just have to try. Speed Queen could be on the fastest lap of the race itself. So Speed Queen on for the soft tyres, getting close to Andriy as well. So watch out for that next few laps. And also Hulk and Jump Lion, also the two teammates that's battling out again on track. So we'll have a look at these two McLarens for 6th place on lap 16 of 27 of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. Andriy has got the fastest up the race with 140 flat, but then I stand corrected again because it was Speed Queen and now Rimpa who's got the fastest up the race with 135.9. That is a stellar of a lap from Rimpa. So Hulk has got the fastest up the race now with 134.721. So he's trying to push on to pull away from a Jump Lion, who will try and get the slipstream. Direct should be active sooner. It might have been. We'll just watch it from Jump Lion's point of view. Jump Lion's 3.5 seconds better off on his lap. So yeah, DRS is now active, and now Jump Lion is now making the move on to Hulk. Too wide making the move. Brilliant stuff there from Jump Lion just with the DRS. So now he's going to try and push to try and get into the top 3. Luke Bailey, who's had a stellar of a job to try and catch up with the top 5, chases Stefan for 4th place. Only 5 tenths, but Beck's got the 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Just try and have a look. So the gap is getting closer. I did say, watch out for the next few laps between Andriy and Speed Queen, because Speed Queen with the soft tyres is going to get closer and closer to Andriy. Aquilan has got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's got to be careful. So now Luke Bailey, he's going to have to watch out for Jump Lion on the softs. He's got to be absolutely careful in the next few laps. But with Luke Bailey, if he can try and keep up with Stefan, could be on for a good 4th place. That's the gap for the top 3. It's like between Andriy, Speed Queen and Rimpa. It's like about 5 seconds. It's the gap between them 3. But then after Rimpa, it's like 15 seconds of a gap. So their only hope would be the safety car to come in. But again, I've not seen during the days of the French Grand Prix, there's not been much safety cars. To be fair, I did see one like in the past, but it looks like Luke Bailey nearly trying to close the gap onto Stefan. So this will keep watching Luke Bailey now. If he can try and keep hold. If anyone trying to go round the outside on just after this section as well. Luke Bailey's making a move! Too wide! Oh my God, Luke Bailey! The heart was in your mouth moment, because the way it looked on the TV, well, the stream that we are seeing, it looked like he was gambling to make the move, but last minute decided to try and back out a bit. But now, because of this has now brought Jump Lion now with the soft tyres into play. But if the McLaren getting close to, sorry, the Hulk getting close to Jumper Lion, this will be a massive boost, to be fair. But yeah, it's just been an absolute mad start, but also been a brilliant battles from what we have seen so far in the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League, and now Luke Bailey's got a chance to try and close the gap onto Stefan again. So here we go, he could try and make the move, but Jumper Lion is now within the 1 second gap. Stefan's lost the back end on that course, so he's going to have a chance now to try and make the moves. Jumper Lion will have the DRS as well. Now Luke Bailey, Stefan's going to try and keep on the left hand side, and he does make the move. Luke Bailey make the move into the inside, around the outside, and does a brilliant job to go ahead of Stefan for 4th place. So now he's going to have to try and have a charge now to try and close the gap onto Rimper. But also, I do think we need to watch, obviously not at the moment, because it's unless we have a safety car, I can't see Jumper Lion getting to the top 3. I can't see that happening, to be fair. I hope he proves me wrong, but that's if we have got a safety car, yes, got a chance, but I can't see that happening. I really cannot see that happening. Looks like Stefan trying to hold on against Jumper Lion, but we'll have to go back to the top 2 in the next few laps, because, well, the next lap or two, because Andriy, who's been leading the race since the start, since Andriy had a stellar of a job to try and hold on in 1st place, still doing everything he can, but Jumper Lion 4 tenths behind Stefan. Stefan will have that DRS. He will have that DRS. Or actually, he might not get the DRS. Be interested to see if he has got the DRS. He has not got the DRS, and now it's brought Jumper Lion. Jumper Lion trying to make the move on the inside, and he does make the move with the DRS. So that is absolutely stellar of a job for Jumper Lion, who moves himself up to 5th. Absolute brilliant stuff from the former F1 driver of Jumper Lion as well. So now Jumper Lion will have a chance to try and close the gap on to Luke Bailey, who's in 4th place at the moment. Burmeister says soft won't make it, I guess. The softs, it just depends on how the time management can do, because I've seen Speed Queen prove me wrong quite a few times in the time management, that I would have thought that the softs will go at certain points, but she can make those tyre wear longer than ever before. But with Jumper Lion in the same situation, if he could try and keep his tyre wear to a minimum, like without too much battles, which currently he is in a battle, and he doesn't want to, mess about too much. But hopefully, if Stefan can try and hold on, he'll get the DRS. But if Jumper Lion could try and get the DRS, it would be a massive boost. Try and challenge Luke Bailey for 4th. He's just lost the back end of that McLaren, but now Stefan is just going himself wide, and now Luke Bailey's going to serve a penalty. Luke Bailey's got his penalty. So yeah, himself, Ryan, Nightshades, Beck and Aquilan, who have all had at least 3 seconds worth of penalties. So just trying to see. Luke Bailey is trying to get rid of that slipstream off Luke Bailey is trying to get rid of the slipstream so that Jumper Lion will not chase as well. But I'll just have a quick look at Speed Queen, which I did say the next few laps will be crucial for Speed Queen. And she is on fire at the minute to try and close the gap onto Andriy. But as I said, she's locked up a little bit at turn 1. But hopefully hopefully she'll try and push on massively just for the DRS. If she can try and keep up with Andriy, that'll be a massive boost. But again, the drivers who would gamble for the softs, they had to do something to try and do something different. But obviously the mediums would be the best way forward to try and not get a puncher, which we have seen a few times last night. at least once last night in the F1 League, where I believe it was TTG Nathan 66, I think it was. His front left was gone after 17 laps of the hard. That was 17 laps, and there was others who had 20 laps on the hards. But obviously with the softs, it's a whole new ball game, or whole new wheel game, shall we say. Beck has got another time penalty. Just have a look at the penalties, to be fair, because the penalties is going to be absolutely decisive whatever happens. So Luke Bailey, let me change that to be the leader. So wherever happens, Luke Bailey will drop down from 4th to 7th as it stands, and John Lyon will get himself back and go back to 4th. Ryan will stay in 8th as it stands. Night Shades will stay in 10th. Beck will stay, well, he might, he'll stay in 11th. Aquilan might lose out on 12th, and taking else in, we'll move up to 12th as well. We've got about 5 laps remaining, guys. 5 laps remaining. Yeah, so 5 laps remaining on this epic Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. Now, Speed Queen with the slipstream. This is absolutely insane stuff now. This is what I was saying. The tyre wear is going to be absolutely crucial. This could be all make or break in the next few laps, especially for Speed Queen, because she's trying everything she can to try and close the gap onto Hotari. So Hotari doing everything he can to try and do everything he can to try and hold on. Yellow flag set to 2. I believe that is Beck. It is Beck. Oh no, that was it. Beck. No, I do apologise. That is Mr. Stim. Mr. Stim's made drop down. So now Stefan and John Lyons. Stefan and John Lyons now battling out for the top 2 positions. But with the 2 McLarens are just behind, Stefan will be under a lot of pressure. But I want to get back to the top 2. So can Hulk try to close the gap onto John Lyon? John Lyon with those soft tyres. I'll be very surprised if those soft tyres are gone. I'll be very surprised now if the soft tyres is gone. To be fair, they have had done 8 laps. So yeah, the gap is getting closer now. But I want to try and get back to the top 2 with 4 laps remaining, guys. 4 laps remaining. Will Huntari win, or can Speed Queen win? That is the big question, guys. Who do you think is going to win? If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure to subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races itself. Please, guys, please check it out. It'll be a massive help. Hulk still battling out with Stefan for 5th place. But I want to try and get on to Speed Queen. So here we go. Can Hulk try and close the gap, but not enough yet. 4 tenths is the gap, but John Lyon is drifting off with those softs. So unless I'm mistaken, he's trying to save those tyres till the end. Try and unless he's used all that ERS, I'm not 100% sure. So here we go. Can Speed Queen, can she finally be able to try and overtake Hotari? But it looks like she just cannot close the gap. So Speed Queen on the DRS straight now. This is a chance for 6 tenths. You probably need to be like within 3 tenths to stand any chance to try and make the overtake. You need to be within 3 tenths. Not anything higher than 3 tenths on that DRS straight. And it's not enough. It's absolutely not enough. And now Speed Queen, 3 tenths now. This could be an absolute stellar finish at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League. Absolutely flying. these two drivers. It was between Huntari and Rimpa in the first lot of the stint, and now it's switched tyres between Rimpa and Prix. So Prix now taking the place of Rimpa for the battle with Huntari as well. So the two battles we've got so far is the Huntari and Prix battle with first and second, and also Stefan and Hulk for 5th and 6th place. But we're going to keep this battle because we've got 2 laps remaining now. Is it 2 laps? Yeah, 2 laps remaining, guys. So 2 laps remaining. Can we try and can we see if Prix can finally be able to get that good win at the French Grand Prix? That is the big question of it all. But Huntari doing everything he can, and now the gap is getting drift away now from Prix. So Prix now needs to try and keep up with the pressure of Huntari. So she can't afford to lose any time at all, especially with the DRS, because if Huntari can try and hold on, it could be that the tyre wear is not great. It's only on 10 laps already, so Prix could be on for, well, I'm hoping that she can try and challenge Huntari near the end, but the tyre wear might be a bit difficult now. But Beck 9000 has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Yeah, the tyre wear, they've got to be careful with that tyre wear. So Prix will have to try and ease off and try not to explode with those tyres, which is a shame because I was hoping for a grandstand finish for the penultimate lap. Well, on the final lap, should we say, but we will be on the final lap now. So we're on the final lap, guys. Final lap of this race of the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. So the only battle we've got, the 2 battles we've got is Stefan and Hulk for 5th and 6th, and also taking ours and Ryan, who's in 11th and 12th respectively as well. So to be fair though, some of the drivers have stepped up the gear, and they've done everything they can. They've done an absolute stellar job on some of them anyway. So I'm just trying to have a look at the position changes. So obviously the biggest movers is obviously John Lion, Stefan, and also Mr. Stim for 6 and 5 places respectively. The biggest loss is Beck with 6 positions. Oh no, sorry, Mr. Steen with 9 positions. So yeah, Mr. Steen with 9 positions. I'm just trying to see where Huntari is now. Huntari is in the 3rd sector. So he's coming up to the last few corners now. I'm trying to have a look at this battle between Hulk to see if he can try and push on the challenge on Stefan, but if not, we'll have to go back to the leader of Huntari, who's coming up to the final few corners now. So Huntari, who's done an absolute stellar job keeping the competitors behind him, and now he has won the French Grand Prix. Congratulations to him, massive congratulations to him. Prix finishes in 2nd. Rimpa will finish off in 3rd, just misses out by 1.5 seconds on 2nd place. Luke Bailey, good drive from him actually, he's in 4th place. But Stefan and Hulk will try and close the gap. Well, Stefan will try and move up to 4th because Luke Bailey will drop a few positions because of his penalties. So Stefan will finish off in 4th. Hulk will finish off in 5th. Luke Bailey will finish off in 6th. John Blind in 7th. Nightshades will finish off in 8th place. Mr. Stim will try and finish off in 9th, and also Beck will finish off in 10th. Just wait for them to finish crossing the line. Now Ryan, who had that brilliant podium last week, is outside the points this week in the French Grand Prix, so he's finished off in 11th. Taking Hours will finish off in 12th place, and then Aquilan will finish off in 13th place. So yeah, it's been an absolute stellar job from these drivers tonight, and to be fair though, well done to Huntari, who did an absolute belter to hold off not only Rimpa earlier on in the first stint, then Speed Queen also. He was trying everything he can to hold on, and he did an absolute brilliant job. And Stefan, who's got the drive of the day, so well done to him on that. So we're just looking at the drivers trying to they're doing the celebrations now. Absolutely stellar job. Well done to Hodari for a brilliant race for the French Grand Prix. We had 2 finish winners. We nearly had, well, I say nearly, but would be funny if we had 3 finish winners again, like last time as well. But well done to Speed Queen finish second, and then Rimpa in third. Here are your race classification for the French Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League on the PlayStation platform. You got Hodari, who's in first, Speed Queen second, Rimpa third, Stefan fourth, Hulk fifth, Luke Bailey 6th, Jump Lion 7th, Nightshades 8th, Mr. Stim 9th, Beck 10th, Taking Owls 11th, Ryan in 12th, Aquilan 13th, and Mr. Steen, who's the only one who's had the DNF in that race, and it was because he gambled to go on the pit for the dry tyres way early when the track was still wet, but I did say it was way too early. But and then I think because he got lapped, I think he retired on the pits. So it was a shame, because I would have liked to see if he planned it well on the pit stop strategy. What would he have done to it? That's the big question. But guys, I will be getting the top 3 drivers, hopefully, of Hatari, Speed Queen, and Rimpa for their thoughts. If not, we will stop the stream early. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back for the interviews, all being well. See you in a bit, guys. You alright, guys? How you doing? I hope everyone's okay. Well, we have tried to ask for the top 3 drivers to join in tonight, but it looks like they are unavailable. So I will have to stop the stream a little bit earlier than planned. But overall, guys, it was without doubt one hell of a race at the French Grand Prix at the Invictus Racing League, the F2 League, and it was an absolute some battles galore. But well done to Andriy, who I thought did really, really well to try and defend against Speed Queen and also Rimper earlier on in the race, and that is without doubt brilliant drive from him as well. But don't get me wrong, you got Stefan, who had the biggest moves and the driver of the day as well tonight, so that was still impressive stuff. It was a shame with Mr. Steed, who trying to gamble on for the dry tyres way early than planned, but hopefully he'll learn from that mistake and try and use that scenario as well. But for the final time, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League, the YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video as well. It would be a massive help as well. Not only we're on live on the YouTube channel, we've got 4 live races. You've heard me right, 4 live races. 2 from the PC League, which is F1 and F2, and also got the PlayStation platform of F3 and F4 tomorrow night. So you got a good choice on the YouTube channel as well. So plenty to watch tomorrow night in the Invictus Racing League. If you want more racing, we've got 2 races coming up on Thursday nights, which is the Performance Leagues, which is both the Xbox and the PlayStation. The Xbox is basically on the Twitch channel, which is the Invictus Racing Leagues. And also check out the Performance League, which is on the PlayStation platform, which is on here on the YouTube channel on Thursday nights. And we also have the Monday Nights F1 League on every Monday night at 8 PM. And like I said, everyone does a stellar of a job what they do in the comms box as well. So cheers for that, guys. I wish everyone, like I said, have a good break, good week, shall we say? And we'll see you all back in round 10. Can't believe 3 races to go. Can anyone try and unbelievable stuff with some mad stuff with the racing itself? And the title race, the championship, is getting a lot heated up. And we'll see what's going to happen in the next few races for the finale. So cheers for that, guys. I'm going to shoot off. And I'll see you all next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.